Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our services, if we can please kindly turn off all cell phones or electronic devices, or please place them on silent. Thank you.
Welcome. Judy Gaber, of blessed memory, was a strong, caring, passionate, dedicated, and tough woman. She came to Congregation Beth Tikva like a shot a year and a half ago, after the passing of her husband, Ben Lichtman, of blessed memory. She came to our Beth Tikva family as a spiritual seeker. Having not delved so deeply into Jewish learning during her first 75 years, she sought more, well beyond the superficial. She sought comfort from the loss of Benjamin. She sought God. She sought peace. She sought knowledge. I can only hope that she received some of what she was seeking. As I can say with confidence that our community at Beth Tikva has been forever changed by the all too brief presence in it of Judy. She dove right in. She immediately became a Friday night regular. When other folks near her age would come to services, she would invite them to sit with her. Judy signed up for a course on Introduction to Judaism, which she excelled at. She took our Hebrew reading boot camp, and at the age of 75, taught herself to read Hebrew so that she could better follow along in the prayer book. Being the consummate teacher, having taught 6th grade for 25 years in Chatsworth, she was quick to organize study groups as well to help keep the other Hebrew students on task. When we started a weekly Torah study group on Tuesday mornings, Judy not only became a regular, but she went out and ordered the book so that I wouldn't have to photocopy pages for her. And most significant to me, Judy learned how to tie tzitzit, the fringes, and knit for herself her very own talis, a prayer shawl. She wore it for the first time this past high holidays. She's also wearing it now, and wearing it forever. Judy became a well-regarded, well-respected, and integral part of our community. And I often forget that she was only a part of our community for a year and a half since Ben passed away. And here we are. Who knew 3 or 4 months ago that this is where we would be, memorializing Judy? The pain of her loss is felt deeply by so many of you in this room. I can see it in your faces, and I share it with you. When she decided to stop seeking treatment, I was in Israel at a kibbutz in the Kinneret in the north. And I spoke with her, and she expressed to me some of the peace that she felt over the life that she had lived, and the peace she felt from her decision. I encouraged her on that call to continue to follow her heart, asking herself throughout this if this decision is what her heart wanted. She was confident, and I was an emotional mess. But I hold in such high regard her strength, and am honored to have been with her for this small piece of the journey of her life. Aisha Kyle means a woman of valor who can find, for a price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, and through her he has no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works willingly with her hands. She girds her loins with strength and makes strong her arms. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the law of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household and eats not the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done valiantly, he says, but you exceed them all. I share with you this excerpt from Aisha Kyle, A Woman of Valor, a song sung each Friday night at the Shabbat table in celebration of a strong woman. It so well describes Judy. In a bit, you'll hear from her son Harvey, who'll share a bit about his mother and the woman that she was, a woman of valor that she was. One more story about Judy that I want to share with you. Beth Tikva has a relationship with Care One in Evesham, where I visit a few times a month. I bring our teens there for dinner with the seniors at Care One once a month, and I'm in and out of that building a lot. It's down the street from the synagogue. But every year before High Holidays, I'm asked to go to Care One in Moorestown to meet with the residents there about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So before Rosh Hashanah 2018, I arrived at Care One in Moorestown to learn that someone in their community had passed away within the last 24 hours. Didn't know who it was. What I had planned to discuss about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur went into the wastebasket, and I proceeded to spend time with the residents there, sharing about their friend named Ben, who had passed away within the last day. We had a bit of a shiva minyan there at Care One. The following year, I went back, and I greeted the residents, and I asked them to share their names and where they had lived before coming to Care One. And one woman said, "Oh, I lived in Marlton at Village Green." And I said, "Oh, do you know my friend Judy Gaber? She's a congregant of mine who lives there also." The resident said, "Rabbi, we all know Judy Gaber. Her husband Benjamin passed away the day before you came to visit us last year. Did you not know that that's who that was?" And I about fell out of my chair. And soon after I left, I called Judy, and we both cried together on the phone. She didn't know that it was me. She knew someone had been there, but she didn't know who it was, and I didn't know that it was for her and for Benjamin. We were meant to be in each other's lives. God works in mysterious ways. And for this, and for Judy, for this connection, I'll forever be grateful. May our time together today have purpose, may it have depth of meaning, and may it honor well Judy's life. Yehudit Bat Nachum, who passed away on Tuesday afternoon. Rabbi Nathan Weiner, the rabbi at Congregation Beth Tikva, and it's truly an honor to be here with all of you today to mourn your loss and to celebrate Judy's memory with you. Judy is survived by her 3 sons, Gary Gaber and his wife Melissa, Howard Gaber and his wife Kathleen, and Harvey Gaber and his wife Paula. Her grandchildren, Xander and Sammy and Caitlin. Several nieces and nephews, including Jill and Debbie. Many beloved dear friends, including Rosie Parks and Sally Marley. The family for beloved husband Benjamin, of blessed memory. her many friends from Beth Tikva, from Village Green, many groups and clubs and games that she was a part of. We all hold her in loving memory. No matter how Judy came into our lives, we're all drawn to remember moments shared with her. And I invite us now, as a community, to take a moment in quiet contemplation with one another. I invite you to hold a memory of Judy in your mind and allow it to be one that makes you smile. And if it does so, let it. We'll pause in quiet contemplation. I'm going to lead us in Psalm 23 in English. Psalm universal across the Abrahamic faith traditions at moments like this. If you're familiar with it, I invite you to recite it with me. If you're unfamiliar with it, I invite you to receive its words of comfort. Mizmor David, Adonai ro'i lo achzar. A Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. From Ecclesiastes, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them up. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep, a time to throw away. A time to tear, a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. Now is certainly a time for speaking and to share some words about his mother. To speak, I invite up Harvey.
This is shit. That's what Mom was saying, and she was standing up here. Mom was never one to mince words. She always would tell it like it is. You knew exactly where you stood with her, and that is one of the many reasons why we all loved her. Sally said it best. What a truly wonderful friend your mother was. She was such a valued member of our community. She welcomed new neighbors and worked hard to provide fun and entertainment for everyone. She was a special person, a teacher, a community leader, a mother, and a friend. She will be missed. I'm sure there is much more to be said, but I found it boiled down to what a beloved friend she was. Before she was a great friend and mother, Mom was an excellent little sister. Her sister, Aunt Faye, as we all called her, I believe Debbie and Jill called her Mom, were inseparable to the end. In one of my last conversations with Mom, she said that her sister was waiting for her. Aunt Faye's daughters, Debbie and Jill, were also big parts of her life. When we lived in Massachusetts, many of my childhood memories were of taking that long road trip from Bedford, Massachusetts to Philadelphia, either Neil Sedaka, Elvis Presley, or Man of La Mancha, blasting out the 8-track player of a Cadillac. We stayed as a family in Aunt Faye and Uncle Jack's home. We set up cots in the master bedroom, and all the kids slept in one room. There was a lot of laughter, and of course, a lot of getting in trouble. Jill and Debbie were very well loved by my mom. Mom would tell me about her 2 to 3 hour conversations with Jill all the time and how close they became. I'm also proud to have rekindled my relationship with them, too, over these last 2 months. They were there for her and myself on the day of the surgery and have been my solid support system through all of this. Thank you. She was a great mother. Growing up was not easy for my 2 brothers and for me. Although we knew there was always going to be food on the table, and she always insisted that we eat as a family for dinner whenever we were all together. And we always knew there was going to be clean clothes on our backs. That was priority 1, was the laundry. Many times we did get punished. Many times we did not seem like we deserved it. But it was all for good, as all 3 of us turned out very well, excelling in all of our respective careers. We had many good times, especially as where Mom referred to as Mimosa Cottage. It was there where my relationship changed for the better with Mom. After the passing of my father, Philip, I stayed there with her for a few years. We were both working hard, as Dad had left us in financial straits. However, we both agreed that we had to keep the necessities. We had to have Rosie. She always had to be there. Rosie was a godsend, and then she never wavered from my mom until even her last breath. Rosie has been a friend to our family for so long. Rosie, you're not really a friend, you're my sister. Along with Rosie, Mom was very proud to be the 6th grade teacher at Chatsworth Schools. She was there for 25 years and shaped many lives. Her previous students were so appreciative of her and showed it by nominating her twice in the Who's Who of Teachers National Register. She made many friends there and kept contact with them for many years to come, along with being an active member in the Burlington County Retired Education Association. Those Sunday calls when she was there, she was deep into that as the treasurer. She loved doing it too. As my brothers and I got older and met our life partners, Mom made sure to make it to all of our weddings. She enjoyed being at them because she realized that is what was making us happy. She even came twice to my wedding. I mean, the first one and the second one. Even though Dad was unable to make it to Paula and my wedding, she was not going to miss it. After all, as soon as she had met Paula, her words were, if I didn't marry her, she was going to. Even though I made happy by staying with her, it wasn't until she met Ben that she was truly the happiest. She finally met her soulmate and had many adventures with him. Every Sunday call when they were together was exciting. They went all over the country together. She loved the spring training trips and everywhere else they went, all the Pearl Harbor survivor trips. She would tell me about them constantly. She told me they were where they've been. It was during that time that I really saw that Mom got to experience unconditional love. Her other happiest times occurred when she came to the Village Greens, as evidenced by all the Village Greens people here today. Mom constantly said this was the best decision she ever made by moving there. This is evidenced by the huge support she got after Ben passed away, and how the support continues by seeing all of the Village Green residents here today. I especially have to recognize Sally, Dee, Harvey, Mickey, and Dave. And They are the true friends that were there for her no matter what. And Sally has been incredible. She probably spent more time in the hospital than I did over all this. After Ben's passing, Mom looked for spiritual guidance and found it at Beth Tikva. Rabbi Nathan and your mother have been awesome through this all. His mother even made me dinner one time and brought it over to the house. We were never religious growing up. Mom always wanted to find that perfect synagogue, and she finally did. That is why she requested if any donation be made, you make it to Beth Tikva. And yes, she said that the last day I talked to her. So, along with what food to get for today. So, this last month has been hard, but it is comforting to know that Mom left this life on her terms. She never wanted to have a long, drawn-out life in a nursing home. She never wanted to have someone be a living caregiver. Her words also on that last day was, I don't want to be a burden. She wasn't. She never was. In our last conversation, she was very happy and content to write her final chapter. She was a mother to the end, making sure I knew everything I needed to do today. And she allowed my brothers and most of the people here to say goodbye to her. In the end, she was at peace and comfortable. Astoundingly, I do not want to close with a moment of silence, because she would never be able to be silent through that moment. There's another thing Mom would have wanted. Instead, let's take time to reflect how to get gum off your shoe, which she did once. Or wipe up any liquid that she spilled, because if there was water anywhere close to her during a moment of silence, that was when it got spilled. Or just make comments to your neighbor about what a phenomenal service this has been. Thank you.
Now going to chant El Malei Rachamim, the central prayer of the Jewish memorial service, where we ask for Judy's soul to be granted true rest in the Garden of Eden. I invite you, if it's comfortable for you to do so, to please rise. God, full of compassion, who dwells on high, grant true rest upon the wings of the Shekhinah, the divine presence, in the exalted spheres of the holy and pure, who shine as a resplendence of the firmament to the soul of Judy Gaber, who has gone to her supernal world. For charity has been donated in remembrance of her soul. May her place of rest be in the Garden of Eden. Therefore, may the all-merciful one shelter her with the cover of God's wings forever, and bind her soul in the bond of life. Adonai is her heritage. May she rest in her resting place in peace. And let us say, Amen. El Malei Rachamim, Shochen Bamromim, Hametzeh Menucha Nechona, Al Kanfei HaShechina, B'malot Kedoshim U'Tehorim, Kezohar Ki Masirim, Et Nishmat Yehudit Bat Nachum, Shehalcha Le'olama, Ba'avor Shenavu Tzedakah Ba'ad Haskarat Nishmata, V'gan Eden Tehe Menuchata, Lachen Bal HaRachamim Yaskireha B'Seto Kenafav Le'olamim, Bitzror, Bitzror, HaChaim Et Nishmata, Adonai Hu Nachalata, V'tanuach Al Mishkava B'Shalom, V'nomar, Amen. You may be seated once again. From Our service here is drawing to its close. Following our time here, those of us going to the cemetery will process to Crescent Memorial Park in Pensacola. Immediately following our time, graveside guests, family and friends are welcome to return to these late residents at 20 Lavender Court in Marlton and Village Greens for visits of consolation. Shiva Minyanim will take place tonight, Saturday night, and Sunday night at 7 o'clock p.m.
Would the pallbearers please step to the center aisle? And I'll ask if we can rise once more, please.
לא תירא מפחד לילה, וחצי גוף יומם. מדבר ואוכל יהלוך, מכתף רישום צהריים. מפול מצפך אלה, ולבן מימינך, אלא תלויך. רק בעיניך תביט, ושלמטה שכם תראה. כי אתה, אדוני מעשי עליון, שמת מכונך.
May you be seated, please? I'll ask you to kind of remain seated, please, for a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, those who wish to stay and talk to friends in the lobby, or feel free to do so, please step to the far right side of the lobby to keep the walkway clear for those who need to get to their cars to go to the secretary. I'll ask if folks in this row can begin to head to their cars, please. Folks in these two rows as well.
I'm going to take a badge to call. Oh, okay.
I don't know whoever tried, none of